Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Lover Pretend. Oh, it's been a traumatic night, let me tell you. Waiting. Actually, I logged off and I tried to forget very valiantly, and then you just remember randomly. God damn it, he better not be my brother. Look. The ending title leads me to believe that he's going to do exactly what I think, come after and be like, oh, wait, no, I'm not your brother, but it's like, how dare you, game? Like, if I hadn't seen the title of the happy end, I might have been a little more worried, but I'm not worried. I'm still like slightly sus because I don't trust. I have trust issues and this game ain't helping. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's get on to it. Let's hopefully get our student and lover ending where it's not just us reminiscing about how my mother was our father's student and lover, because that's fucking weird, and we become his student and lover the way it's supposed to fucking be. So anyway, I tried to hold it in until I got outside, which would make sense, honestly, again, why he's like, no, I can't think of you as my little sister. And we're like, okay, bye. And he's like, wait, that's not, you know what I mean? I can't think of you as my little sister because you're not my little sister and I'm in love with you. But, again, words, saying, opening mouth, speaking, dialogue would have helped this whole thing. But anyway, now we're crying. Girl, I feel you. As soon as I left, tears started streaming down my face. I found out what I wanted to know, but it doesn't make me happy. I'm more shocked about being related to Professor Asagi than I am about finally knowing who my father is. If he could have treated me the same as always, it would have been some consolation. But that wasn't possible. It's okay. I made friends at college, and what he taught me won't just disappear. I told myself that, but the tears refused to stop. This would be the good point for him to be like, you know. The weird thing is I don't think there's sound in the game. I mean, there's sound, but it's not. There's no background music right now, because I'm like looking at I have to constantly, I'm constantly checking because the second I take my eyes off my freaking recording software, something's broken. But the background music just isn't on if it's there because it's not making a sound. So it's anyway. By the time I got home, my head was pounding from everything that had happened. Maybe sleep will help. I languidly took a bath and crawled into bed. I can't believe he doesn't come after. Like, dude, were you listening? I feel like he was processing everything. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he's like, oh, he's like, no, I can't treat you like my little sister. And like, he's thinking that we got the gist that we're not his sister, but he didn't fully explain that. And he's like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, I didn't tell you that. And people are like, no, because you know information. You think you told someone the information because you know it, but like, you know what I mean? You're like, I know XYZ. Feel like I told you XYZ, and they're like, no, you didn't. And you're like, oh, maybe I was thinking I was gonna tell you, but because I know this information, it's like you just kind of forgot that you didn't tell someone. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm trying to explain what was happening, but I guess I didn't make it clear that you're not actually my sister. And then just saying I can't think of you as my little sister. But here's the weird part. Like, what confuses me is maybe he's not 100% sure either, because why, if we were like, just think of me like your little sister, and he's like, why would I do that? That's weird. You're not my sister. You know what I mean? Like, shouldn't that have been like the red flag to him to be like, wait, what? Oh, wait, whoa, you're not my sister. You know what I mean? Unless he was just so out of it, like, I can't do that because he's just thinking that he's in love with us. So he either is just stupid, which, okay, granted, when all these emotions and things are going crazy, I can understand. So I get it, sir. That's fine. I'm not saying that he's literally 100% stupid. I'm just like, in this moment, he was having a stupid moment. We all have them, so fine. So he was either having a stupid moment or he's not 100% sure that we're not his sister. You know what I mean? And he's like kind of being like, I had feelings for you and then you might be my sister. But at the same time, the rest of that would make the rest of the route the way things were going, where he's like, no, you're not my sister. And then he's awkward around us and he's like, how do you feel about me? And you're like, I don't know. And he's like, yeah, okay, I don't either. And like, you were like, oh my God, he's getting really close to us. And it's like, and the guy at the arcade being like, oh, you're like boyfriend, girlfriend. And he doesn't think anything weird about it. It's like, you have to know that you're not my brother, because wouldn't you think? Even if you had started to kind of have feelings and then all of a sudden the father thing got brought up and you were like, fuck. I could understand then you're trying to like, wait, I don't know what's happening here. But if you thought I was your sister and some guy was like, oh, you're a cute couple, you'd be like, what, we're not a couple? You'd be more freaked out about it than we were. I'm just saying. You wouldn't be like, I'm too old for you. You'd be like, I'm related to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the way he's been acting does not flag as someone who thinks we're his sister. So, like, that whole reveal thing at the end was a little weird. I feel like, again, I didn't want to think about it because I knew my father and your mother were sleeping together. And then that's awkward. But then I did more investigating and I realized it's not true. But they were sleeping together. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just very questioning this route now because it's just very weird. I still love Asagi, don't get me wrong. But, like, I think they did him a little dirty because, like, if he's your brother, all of the little things in the middle of the route that are feeling romancy are kind of weird because he thought from almost the beginning of his route, this chapter, that he might be your brother, and what you said made sense because he knew that his father and your mother had a relationship. You know what I mean? Or he was like, wait, it's possible. And then he figured it out, but then it was still like okay with being called your boyfriend and then like flirting with you a little. You know what I'm saying? That's awkward. And then being like, I can't think of you like my little sister. Bro. Wow, you're more of a degenerate than I am playing this game, and that's saying something, okay? Because, like, seriously, right? I think we can all agree he's more of a degenerate than I am at this point, and that's kind of fucking weird. But, but if you're not his sister, then why the fuck would he have but the way he told that story, you know what I'm saying? Like, the relationship point up until that last scene is like kind of flirty and whatever, and is weird if he thinks you might be a sister. Fucking bizarre. But then if you're not, then that little revelation scene is fucking weird because he's like, oh my God, my dad was sleeping with your mom, but there's no, but actually, not actually your brother though. Got that for a fact. But then that right there is like, he's not sure. And then you're like, listen. This is some fucked up shit. Okay, I can't help it. I want to know, but I don't. I don't want this game to crush me again, like so many games have crushed me. When morning came, I knew I should get up, but I felt too sluggish. Maybe I should just skip today. While I was debating what to do, my phone beeped. It was one of my new friends. Are you skipping today? Yeah, not feeling well. You alone? Are you okay? I'll be fine, just need sleep. Thanks, though. And then we sent a little thank you emoji. Cute. After I replied, I closed my eyes. I thought for a hot second it was going to be Asagi, and I'm like, no, you need to show the fuck up, bro. Hopefully not my actual bro. God. Oh. Stop. Ah, okay. Hmm? It's him. It's him! It better be him. It better fucking be him. What time is it? I saw the setting sun outside the window and jumped out of bed because you didn't show up. Now he's worried. I slept so long. Actually, did I hear the doorbell? You're in your fucking pajamas with your goddamn rumpled hair. I hobbled to the front door. Yes? It's me. Asagi. Professor Asagi? I cracked the door open and then realized my mistake. My hair's a mess. I'm in my pajamas. I can't let him see me like this. No, that's the perfect way for him to see you. I can't really come out right now. I don't mind. No, but this is a way to open the door. Okay. I thought he was angry, so I opened the door cautiously. Professor Asagi was on the other side, carrying something large. His gaze softened when he saw my face. Like, this is so like you're just showing up because I missed school and you know that you caused it and it feels so romantic, but you could actually be my brother. But again, why would the ending be student and lover? Why is this game doing this to me? Why are you giving me doubts, game? I don't like it. Stop it. But also at the same time, I'm like laughing about this because like, good job, game, for making me so fucking confused and actually having a brain aneurysm over this and an existential crisis. Like, you know what I mean? I should just be like, go away, Norton, Jesus, goddamn crazy bitch. I'm so tired of every time I turn my computer on, it's like spamming me with shit. Anyway, but you know what I mean? Like, you can't. Like, I'm proud of the game for torturing me like this instead of being like, oh yeah, I mean, they want me to think he's my brother, but I totally fucking know that's bullshit. I don't know that it's bullshit, and I'm scared. I feel like I probably wouldn't be so concerned if I hadn't played certain other games before where they dangled the sexy brother carrot in front of my face, and I was like, that's my brother, isn't it? Son of a bitch! That's the only reason you won't let me date that character. But you knew before you got to here, where you're like, you're kind of romancing me, and then shit, wait, what? You know, you can't bamboozle me like that. You can't be like, no, we're not siblings. Oh, thank God. Oh, look, we're getting all romantic. Actually, we might be. What the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? This roller coaster is not. I asked for this, didn't I? Oh my God. Oh, thank goodness. I thought you were rejecting me because you didn't want to see me. That's not it. I was just embarrassed for you to see me like this. Why? You look fine to me. That's either a man who's just totally in love with you who doesn't give a shit that you have rumpled hair and you look a hot mess, or because he's like, why? You're my sister. That's gross. I don't give a fuck what you look like. I'm just saying. I do not. I'm a mess. Don't worry about it. I told you before, but when I'm relaxing, I look much worse. So, may I come in? And it would be actually kind of fucking weird if he just kissed us. Because she'd be going crazy, and then I'd be like, okay, he's definitely not my brother. Or he's got a kink, and like, whatever. I have joked that I've been asking for it, so I can't really... I knew this would happen, though. I mean, I really don't think he's... I'm like 98% on the most likely not our brother, but there's that doubt that's enough to like... There's a Venn diagram. A majority of the bubble is not my brother. The doubt about brother, there's a slight overlap where I'm like, I'm not 100% sure. You know, I'm in the middle, leaning more toward not our brother. You know, more of my hope is in that basket, but my fear is in the possible. Oh, sure. But again, I keep joking, like, give me the brother route, and this would be it, and I'd be like, oh my God, this is exactly how I'm going to react. As much as I like to postulate and put it out there, like, yeah, whatever, give me the brother route, game, chicken, and then it does it, I'm like, stop it, I don't like it. Oh good, there's the background music. Actually, I'm surprised to see you here. And the girls from my lecture were worried about you, so they called my office. And they said you weren't feeling well. I figured it was because of what happened yesterday. That's not... I tried to pull myself together, but I couldn't keep my voice from shaking. And again, for us, it's not the, he's my brother, it's the, you rejected me. Like, I wanted things to stay the same, and you said it can't happen. Well, then treat me like your sister, I can't do that. So you basically took our existing relationship and were like, can't keep that. Okay, then I'm your sister. Nah, because you're in love with me, right? But like, again, words, explanations. As a screenwriter, I feel like you'd be better at expressing yourself. It's better with logical shit than emotion. So actually, you know what? That tracks. Never mind. Professor Suggy looked at me with worry as he placed his stuff on the table. I assumed you hadn't eaten anything yet, so I made some things. Oh my God, you cooked for me? You need to eat to keep up your strength. Now go ahead and dig in. You made stuff or you bought it? I don't care. It's the thought that counts and I'm here for it. Professor Asagi took some food containers out of his bag, just like I'd done for him, and laid them out on the table. You're like, this is the shit I made you. Yeah, well, I don't know how to cook, so I figured bring that extra couple days back. Professor Asagi, did you make all this yourself? I didn't know you could cook. Only simple stuff. I rarely cook for myself. I do have a great assistant who makes delicious food, though. These are just basic things I made in a hurry. If I'd had more time, I would have put more effort into it. No, this is perfect. Sorry for causing you trouble, but I'm very happy and thankful, and I miss you. It's only been a day. Is it okay if I eat some now? Please. Among the dishes in front of me, I chose the spinach and mushroom soup and took a sip. It's delicious. It was savory, but easy on the stomach. Once I finished, all the sadness in my heart seemed to melt away, because the man made food for you with love. Not brotherly love. Romantic love. I'm going with this, okay? I'm going to cling on to this desperation until the game rips it out of my cold, dead hands. Miss Ueda, was it so bad it made you cry? I'm sorry, I didn't taste everything. Not that. That your kindness soothed my soul. I said I'd work hard on my own, but look at me. Ashamed of myself. Didn't I tell you once before that it's important to let your feelings out sometimes? Not once have I ever thought of you as a burden. Please don't say that. You're the one who said it'd be difficult to treat me the same as before. Yes, it is difficult. See? That means I can't talk to you like before. I can't learn from you. I can't be with you anymore. Huh? That's not what I said at all. Well, it's practically the same as saying it directly. That's not what you said, but it's kind of the impression you gave. So, I can't blame us for jumping to that conclusion. It wasn't that. I did say difficult, but I meant it in a different way. What did you mean? See, this is where you just kiss me because you don't know how to words and then freak us out a little. I want that. In the beginning, I really wanted to help you as your teacher. But after you started your job with me, I saw how hard you worked, and I saw that energetic smile of yours. If he says something about, as a brother, I'm just going to be so I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry! Little by little, my feelings changed. And now, you're more than just a student to me. Okay, see, this to me is you're in love with me. But you still haven't fully communicated that I'm not your sister. Or we're okay with Inza. Look, I really wish the happy ending was student, sister, and lover. Then I would have known where this was going. I should have titled the ending something different just so I would have been more worried. Again, I'm a majority of myself is sure that it's going the way I think it's going. We're not related. But again, I just have trust issues, so I'm not 100% sure that even though the title of the ending is going to bamboozle me, you know what I mean? More than a student? I understand if you're disgusted with me. Never written anything about a teacher and student, and I'm sure I never expected to find myself in such a situation. Okay, he's like, oh, I love how he's like, if you're disgusted with me, and we're thinking, because you're my brother and my teacher? He's not our brother, but we're she's gonna be no, I'm more disturbed with the fact that you're my brother. He's like, oh, what? No. Hold on. Why would I feel disgusted? It's okay. I'm much older than you. And since we're related, I shouldn't be saying this. Oh. Wait, what? If it were me, I'd be confused too. I'm not. Yes, confused. Wait, what? I'm not confused. Actually, I'm happy. Wait. Oh god, what? That was why I wanted him to treat me like I was special. But ever since I found out we were siblings, I'd given up on that wish. Oh god. Are we gonna find out we're not related? At all? Or are we actually... Oh god. I know we're only half siblings, but if that's... Oh god! What did I do? Like, okay. I know it hasn't been that many games where I've been like, goddamn game cowards, let me date my hot brother, but I knew this would happen. Oh, dear God. Oh, I knew it would happen. I knew eventually we'd play a game and it would be like, oh, this is so uncomfortable and why was I asking? Oh, shit. I am all talk and no walk. Okay, this is 100% proof of that. I still love Asagi, don't get me wrong, but I'm scared. Guys, I'm scared. Somebody call my mom. I need her to come pick me up. Oh, I'm still pretty sure we're going to find out we're not siblings, but we're going into this thinking we might be siblings, and then it's going to be like, oh, we're not. Okay, cool. But we're fully going into loving each other as thinking we're siblings. And she doesn't have a problem with it. All right, okay. All right, okay. All right, I can do this. Miss Oida, you're not thinking clearly or calmly right now. You should rest until you're feeling better. I'm completely calm. Getting calmer by the minute, in fact. I thought for sure he was like, no, we're not actually siblings, and just, no, but he still thinks we are. Okay. Wow. And we're like basically gonna, okay. No, you're not. Anyone else would be taken aback by this. Yeah. I agree. Maybe so, if they didn't feel the same. Okay. Oh. I held my hand over my mouth, but I couldn't take it back. It practically said I liked him. Maybe he didn't hear me. I looked at Professor Asagi and prepared for the awkwardness. Aw, he's blushing! This is adorable! So slightly awkward. Alright. Oh no. There's no way he didn't hear me. I was being impulsive, acting in the moment, and I revealed how I felt about him. I want to run away, but it's the truth. I couldn't pretend I didn't say it. It would end things right here and now. And even though he might be my brother, I just want things to start. Oh my God! I mean, she didn't say that, but I'm just saying! Oh Lord. As Professor Asagi taught me, I shouldn't hide my feelings. I should be open and honest. I mean, we're both in the same space where we kind of fallen for each other. It's really a forbidden relationship. You know, okay. I'm still waiting. I feel like we're gonna get the we're not related revelation later, because I find it very hard to believe, to be honest, even though we're having this moment where we're like, wait, we both think we're related and we're both confessing that we're kind of into each other and like, that's cool here. This is a very light, fluffy game. It's not one of the more serious kind of ones. So I just find it hard to believe that in a light, kind of fluffy game like this, there's some dramatic moments, but it's not really. You know what I mean? It's not like a dark, twisty, dramatic game where you're like, oh, this is fucked up. Everything's pretty wholesome, and then you have the incest route? I find that hard to believe, actually. So, like, even though we're now confessing to what we think is our brother who's basically confessing to us, too, I'm now more in the camp of we're going to find out he's not our brother, because I find it hard to believe that this game would go there. You know what I mean? You expect other Pio Fiore. I could have expected that going there because of some of the shit. With the ones that have heavier themes and, like heavier stories and, like, whatever. But this is, like, kind of fluff. Like, it's a lighter, happier game. It's not, and then you're gonna put this in there? The fuck? I'm just saying. Alright, anyway. We're never gonna get through this because I can't process this, so. Professor Asagi, I like you too, so it doesn't disgust me. Not at all. But his point of disgust was, I'm your teacher and you're my student and I'm older than you. And she's like, that doesn't bother me. I'm also maybe your brother. Well, get over it. Granted, since we're related, nothing can come of it. Just don't have kids. But even if my brain knows that, it's not that simple. I think maybe I just need time. You're amazing. Huh? I am? Yes. I thought I shouldn't tell you how I felt, and I tried my best to ignore it. I love this, and you can't have this. We're totally in love with each other, but we're never gonna have it. But
And here you are openly expressing your feelings. I can't tell who's being more of an adult right now.
I'm just doing what you taught me, Professor. I didn't know who looked up first, but our eyes met and we laughed. I knew it. I like him. Even when we weren't doing anything, just being with him made me happy. But I also worried for the future. And the thing is like, we kind of started falling for him, not realizing until like yesterday that he could be our brother. Like, we totally were like, oh, he's not my brother. But he's kind of been suspicious or quote unquote known. I'm putting known in quotes. And like, because I don't, whatever. Thinks he's known, but then was still falling in love with us. So like, more of a degenerate than I am. But I know we're not related because you're not going to like have this confession and not have us be together. You know what I mean? You would have made it totally platonic, or you're going to go. It's all or nothing. We're platonic while the rest of us, me, are pining over him like, let me romance him. And they're like, you can't because he's your brother. And you're like, oh, fuck. And then it's a platonic, we have this bond, but it's a sibling bond. It's not romantic at all. Or we've got this romance and we're going to go all out and bone our brother. It's never going to be like this where you're like, I'm in love with you, but you're my brother and I'll get over it. And then happily ever after is we're just pals and siblings and we forget our raging lust for each other. Especially with an ending like Student and Lover. So anyway, but I also worried for the future. What's going to happen to us?
I'll let you decide if you want to file the paperwork for us to become family. But either way, I want to help you financially.
I see. Nothing made me happier than knowing Professor Asagi felt the same way. But because we were related by blood, it could never turn romantic. I feel like to prove that you're related, you would have to get blood tests and then they'd be like, guess what? We're not siblings. My brother. I tried repeating it in my mind, but it still felt off. Yeah, because he ain't your brother.
I told you this already, but I'll not think of you as my sister.
Right. I thought he was just pushing me away the other day, and it hurt. But now that I knew how he felt about me, I was pleased, despite how inappropriate it was. I mean...
But one thing still worries me. My mother.
Oh, yes.
Kept all this from her, and I don't think she can handle the surprise. I'll find a way to break it to her easy. I need to be careful how I word things.
He's gonna tell her and his mother's gonna be like, oh no, they never boned! I knew they were in love with each other! Oh, they were romantic, but they never had sex. Your father told me. He would have admitted it.
Before I tell her, though, I think we should do a DNA test first. She might not believe me without proof.
And that's actually smart. Because I'm like, then that would be the time his mother's the one time she's lucid. She's a little, But like, that's unfair. She's got like an illness or whatever, but she just doesn't remember things, so she wouldn't be able to tell us that. So smart of him. Let's get a DNA test before I tell my mother that my father had a love child. And then we do a DNA test, and then we're like, whoop, not siblings. Bam. I told you. Okay. Look, I was worried. And I got very, very concerned and scared. I literally did when we were like, we're going to romance our brother. Holy fuck. So, like, don't listen to me when I say I want things. I've been saying it for games, though. Like, I want the brother route. I know I'm not going to be able to handle it. I've always known. I say I want it, but I know damn well, and I'm pretty sure I've been clear. Like, I say I want it, but the second they hand it to me, I'm going to be very concerned and uncomfortable. And here we are. This was proof. Yeah, be careful what you wish for, kids. Anyway.
Once we get the results, I'll tell her.
I understand.
Anyway, we can talk about this later. You should rest for now. I'll stay with you for today.
Huh? Stay with me?
You can't take care of yourself alone. And don't worry. I wouldn't jump a girl when she's not feeling well.
Asagi, I'm sorry. Sweetie, baby, honey, back up. I'm not gonna jump a girl when she's not feeling well, but you jump a girl who's feeling well who might be your sister?
Yeah.
Okay! Okay. I did not expect Asagi to be the one who was a little fucked. Like, out of all of them weird kinks, I would have expected Kazuma to have the weird kinks. Makino has just, like, anime kinks. I'm sure he wants to roleplay in the bedroom, and that's cool. That's fine. I'm down with that. Like, I get it. What role playing your favorite anime characters is no different than having like teacher student role playing or like cheerleader high school football player role play. I'm just saying, like, naughty nurse role play. Role playing your favorite anime characters, same difference. All right, it's just like there's no difference there. It's just role play. So Makino is the role play kink, which that's normal. Kazuma, I would feel like would be a little fucking weird. You know, Riku just wants to paint you and then roll your body across a canvas and do some weird things with body paint. And again, that's fine. I don't know about Sena. I don't think, honestly, I would be like, he's the one with no kinks, no weirdness. Because you'd think he would be. But I would never, ever have pegged Asagi for being the one who was like, nah, I'd fuck my sister, sure. Shouldn't you be? I mean, we're like, I'm in love with him, but nothing can come of it because we're related, so I gotta kind of stuff this away. And he's like, don't worry, I'm not gonna jump you, you're sick. Sir? Are you okay? I mean, I love the fact that you're so into me you don't even care that we might have the same dad. That's... Okay, that's a little hot in a weird, uncomfortable kind of way. Jump?
Oh, sorry. I meant that as a joke.
Yeah, I don't think you did, though.
Anyway, I brought my work. I'll let you finish eating. Do you mind if I use this table?
Sure. Just a little while ago, I wouldn't have thought that we'd be spending time together under the same roof, pining over each other. I'm still feeling dizzy, although it's for an entirely different reason now. I can't wait till you find out you're not siblings, and then that's when he's just gonna throw you down and take you. You can't tell me he could rein it in after that. He's barely reining it in thinking we're his sister. Once I finished eating, I took a bath and changed into clean pajamas. All that was left was to go to bed, but... Okay, can I just ask a serious question? Who changes your pajamas every fucking night? Put clean pajamas on and then get, like... You can wear the same pajamas for more than one night. Who has that many pajamas? Or wants to do laundry that much? You know?
Oh, I guess you can't sleep with the lights on like this. I'll go to the other side.
It's okay. Is he gonna sleep with us? I climbed into bed and secretly peeked at Professor Asagi. It's not a dream. He's really here. And it's awkward because you're like, it's awkward because, like, I'm getting into bed and I want to romance the shit out of this man, but he's my brother and what the fuck? Like, I love that it's so confusing, even though you know damn well we're going to get that DNA test back and he's not my sibling, but it was difficult to describe how I felt. Touched? Well, no, because he's on the other side of the room. Happy? Overjoyed? It's so strange to see Professor Asagi in my apartment. We feel the same way about each other. He's still my professor, but once I graduate and he takes me in his family, should I call him something different? When we went to the bar that time, he made me use his name. Just that made my heart skip, but what I felt now was much more than that. Brother? Mr. Ichiro? Ichiro? Ichiro sounds more right than just brother. It's also, Ichiro's gonna sound right when he's not your brother, so don't start calling him brother. I just love the fact that the game is fucking with us like this. Because you know damn well it's gonna come back, but it's still like, holy shit. Holy shit. As I continued to think, I closed my eyes. The sound of his typing echoed in my tiny apartment. The tapping slowly lulled me to sleep. I can't wait for however long it takes us to get this back. Oh, his side. Bro.
I heard Ueda's voice and stopped working. As she was sleeping comfortably, her arm hanging out of the blanket. What am I going to do with you?
I'm sure you could think of some things. Brother who's not actually my brother.
I got up and walked to her bed, reaching out to pull the blanket over her.
Ichiro.
I heard my name and froze.
Oh yeah, you can't say his name in your sleep, girl. He's already turned on.
Miss Ueda. I thought she was awake, but I was mistaken. Jeez. I tucked her into the blankets, careful not to wake her, and she smiled. You have no idea how I feel. I wonder what you're dreaming about.
You dumbass. That's why I said your name. How dare you! Game! You cannot. I know it's just a kiss on the cheek, and that's like just very kind of platonic, familial. Like, it doesn't have to. You know what I mean? It could be anything. People in certain countries kiss each other on the cheek. It's not romantic. But like, stop it! Stop it, because I can't breathe. You can't do this!
I crouched down and kissed her cheek.
No response. If you kiss me on the lips while I'm sleeping, motherfucker.
If she were awake, she would have went on about how I said I wouldn't jump her and gotten really mad.
A kiss on the cheek is not the same thing. If you start shoving your tongue down my throat when I'm sleeping.
I knew I shouldn't have done that. But I hope that she, and whatever deity might be watching, would forgive me. You probably have no idea just how much I love you.
Oh. It hurts.
That's why I can be vulnerable with you. Every time you talk to me, I try to deny it, but you trust me so earnestly. If I can't make you happy as a lover, I can at least give you affection as a member of your family.
Yeah, but like, how awkward is that? I mean, again, I was very concerned at the end of the last part and the beginning of this one. And then we got to, I'm your sibling, and it's like, DNA test. Oh, it's coming back, we're not. Because there's too much romance. This right here, you can't do that. You can't make it so romantic and painful and be like, stop it, and then make him my brother. Again, unless you're gonna go all out and we just don't care. But we can't do this whole I'm pining away for my brother while he's pining away for me, but we're just not gonna do anything about it. It's all or nothing. So this whole pining thing is like we're not related, we're gonna be lovers. You know?
That may be cruel, but it's the only way I can love you. What do you think, Spacey?
Stop it, it hurts. Maybe because Professor Asagi stayed with me, or because I was so relieved our feelings were mutual, I felt better in no time. Even if he was my brother, my respect and love for him wouldn't change. He cared so much for me, too, that the awkwardness between us gradually dissipated. It's gonna get more awkward when you can't keep your hands off each other at family dinners.
Miss Ueda, I'm sorry this is so sudden. How about the DNA test results are back?
Oh, so you're gonna talk to your mother now?
Well, about that.
What's the matter? Did something happen?
According to this document, we're not related at all.
I told you! Again, I was worried in the beginning, but as soon as he's like, DNA test, I was like, bam, not my brother. Huh? But I thought we shared the same father, Seiji Asagi. If not, then...
Honestly, I'm just as confused. My mother kept a lock of my father's hair as a keepsake. I'll have to borrow it and do the test again.
But if you do that, won't she ask you why?
Yeah, it's one of her most cherished treasures, so I'll have to explain.
And then we find out that Seiji Asagi is our father and not his. Oh, that would be great. We're not related. But I thought your dad was my dad. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. Oh my God, I'm not my dad's son. Well, I found my dad and you just lost yours. This would be fucking hilarious.
Besides, I think she's starting to suspect that you're Kana's daughter.
And I'll go with you.
I appreciate the gesture, but I don't know how my mom will react.
So you should... Last time was just so sudden, and I wasn't prepared. But I want to formally introduce myself, so please let me come with you.
If she gets too upset, she may end up saying some hurtful things.
Well, I am a little afraid, to be honest. But if I don't do this, I don't think I'll ever find any closure. I want to know the truth, no matter how much it hurts. Well, the truth is we're not related. We have no DNA in common. He's like, I'll get my dad's hair. We don't have the same DNA. All that's going to prove is that he's my dad and not yours. Or we're back to the same square where we're not related. I mean, we're not going to be related either way. Can we just have sex now?
All right, let's go together then.
But wouldn't it be weird to find out that his dad isn't his dad and that his dad is your dad? So Seiji Asagi is your father, but not Ichiro's father, and then but he's known him as being his father as well. That's gonna fuck up some shit. I mean, you're not genetically related, but wouldn't it be weird? I feel like that'd still make your relationship a little odd, but not odder than being half siblings and wanting to fuck each other, but whatever. When he was ready, Professor Asagi called and said we'd meet at his mom's apartment. Once I got there, I sat down with him and his mother.
Oh, you're the young lady from the other day.
Yes, my name is Spacey Ueda.
Ueda. Oh, I see. I knew you looked familiar. You resemble Kana so much. She's my student. And my lover, and possibly my sister. But whatever. I'm just... You know, the one I told you about a few times. She always listens so intently to my lectures. Yes, I remember. What a strange twist of fate. Who would have thought that you'd meet Kana's child?
She was smiling, but a tear suddenly dripped down her cheek.
It's all right. I knew I'd have to talk about this eventually. You're all grown up now, Ichiro. I'm sure you want to talk about your father. I do. After Miss Ueda told me about her mom, I thought that Dad was also her father, and that we were related by blood. But I was wrong. Do you know something about this? Give me just a moment, dear.
She opened a drawer and pulled something out of it.
Ichiro, this key opens a drawer in Seiji's study, the one that was always locked. Do you remember? Yeah, I didn't know you had the key, though.
Well, like, if she didn't have the key, then, like, where would it be? And you'd be like, I'm busting that drawer open.
Before Seiji passed away, he gave it to me. The drawer should contain a memoir and 2 letters. One letter was made out to me, and the other to Kana.
My mother? May I also see it?
Of course. I kept it here because I had no idea what Kana was. As her daughter, you have every right to see it. I'm sure Seiji would have wanted that too. I'm so glad we got to meet.
Professor Asagi's mother smiled at me and wiped her tears. Then she bowed and went back to her room. Professor Asagi took the key his mother had given him and went to his father's study. He returned with the memoir and the letters. But it's like, we're not related! And then it's like, we have these letters, and now it's like, are you trying to bait me and think we're related again? Because you can't do this! You can't be like, we're not related, we are related. We're not related, we are related. Stop it!
I had no idea my father left these. They should explain everything.
Right. And we're back in his apartment. It was funny because I'm like, this is his apartment. And I'm like, the colors seem different. It is. His is more gray and his mother's is more warm-toned, but... We returned to Professor Asagi's room, the memoir and letters in hand. I like how they just changed the colors. They didn't even flip it.
Are you ready?
Yes, if you are. Though I was nervous, I nodded and Professor Asagi opened the memoir and read it aloud.
This memoir is dedicated to my beloved. The fire of my life shall soon be extinguished. I wanted to see Ichiro grow into an adult, but it's not meant to be. I've caused him so much suffering. I should be telling him this in person, but that's difficult to do in this situation. I don't know how much I should say, but I've decided to write down what happened. This will likely be the last thing I can do for Ichiro as a father.
We have to keep reading it in his voice because it's hard. Oh my god. Are you trying to tell me? I'm like, wait, his best friend is really your dad. But he died before you were born. So Seiji married your mom, and then like, so Seiji's my dad. Are we going there? Are we doing this? Oh my god, poor Asagi. The whole life you thought was totally fucking a lie because I came in and just like blew it out of the water. Oh, this poor man. Oh no. Anyway.
But first, I'll start with my best friend, Takaro Ohara. We met at a literature club in high school. At the time, I was already working on becoming a screenwriter, and Ohara was trying to become a novelist. We would critique each other's work, which sometimes led to arguments, but it also helped us grow in our respective crafts. Let's race to see who gets a job first. We enrolled in the same college, and that's where we met Sayori, your mother.
Oh my god, this is absolutely it. He ends up dying, and like Sayori's pregnant, so like freaking Seiji marries her. Oh dear god.
Your mother loved to read, so the three of us hit it off. We would read the same books and have lively conversations together. Sayori was a delicate flower, and my feelings bloomed for her, but I didn't say anything, because I didn't want to mess up our trio. In our final year of college, Ohara won a prestigious award for his debut novel.
Ohara's the dude on the left. That's holding that Sayori's clinging onto.
I was overjoyed for him and celebrated as if it were my own accomplishment. Excited, Sayori jumped up and hugged him. That was when I realized Ohara and Sayori liked each other.
Ah! Oh god, this is so tragic!
If I'd been another man, I'd have tried to date her anyway. I would have said something. But I trusted Ohara and I knew he'd make her happy, so I withdrew. Fate can be so fickle, though.
I told you! Oh no! Oh my god!
I still vividly remember the day Sayori called to tell me Ohara had been in a traffic accident. He survived, but he had severe head injury. The doctor said he had a high chance of developing vascular dementia. Just like they said, little by little, Ohara started to forget things. At the time, I was competing with Ohara, so I was entering a lot of competitions. However, seeing my best friend so reduced made me lose all motivation. Once, when Sayori left the room and it was just the two of us, I told him about the script I was working on. I didn't expect a response. His empty eyes suddenly revived and he said, "Are you feeling guilty because of me? Spare me. Didn't we swear when we started college that we compete to see who got a job first?" I was ashamed of myself. Yes, he was my best friend, but he was also my greatest rival. After Ohara scolded and encouraged me that day, I submitted my script to a competition. When I heard I'd won an award for it, I went straight to Ohara's house to tell him. I thought I'd finally caught up to him at the starting line.
Oh my god, he's dead.
But the next year, Ohara's brain started hemorrhaging, and his condition worsened. He went into surgery, but he didn't survive.
Okay, but the next year. So, like, I was like, well, okay, he was, like, they thought he was gonna have problems, but he seemed to be doing okay. You know what I mean? They're like, but that doesn't mean he wasn't dating Sayori still.
Sayori and I were both devastated. Sayori had a weak constitution to begin with and fell ill. Then I discovered that she was pregnant with Ohara's child.
I knew it! Oh god! When the mother was like, there's memoirs you should read. Even before that, didn't I say this? Oh, Jesus! Oh no! Poor Asagi, this poor bastard! Oh!
I couldn't leave her like that. She was too shocked from her sudden loss. I proposed to her and begged her to let me help raise Ohara's child.
Oh! Asagi, that's why we're not related. Your dad isn't your dad. I'm sorry, you're welcome. Oh no.
I hid my feelings because of Ohara, yet even then, I still loved Sayori. But she loved Ohara, so I couldn't bring myself to tell her how I felt. Looking back now, if I just told her, our future together could have been different. Sayori gave birth to a boy, and we named him Ichiro. We married and we lived together like a normal, happy family.
Look at little shadow baby Ichiro. No.
But as I got busier with work, Sayori smiled less and less. She started blaming herself, insisting that she was trying to forget Ohara and be happy. I tried to convince her that it was okay, but her mental state kept worsening. I think it was Ichiro's strong resemblance to Ohara.
This keeps getting sadder, my heart.
And day by day, Ichiro looked more and more like his late father. My work often kept me from home, and one day, Her mental illness pushed her over the edge. She wanted to separate. She said, "This isn't the life you wanted. I've been nothing but a burden. I want you to be free of this obligation."
I could have given her a younger voice, but you know what? We're Eiichiro reading his father's letter, so I figure he's reading it out loud to us. That's why I didn't change the voice. You know what I mean?
It was then that I realized my grievous error. Sayori thought this whole time that I'd proposed only out of obligation to Ohara and sympathy for her. And that wasn't true. I loved her deeply. But when I finally told her, it was too late.
Oh, I kind of feel bad for Seiji. You kind of think it's sad that he fell in love with our mom, but then came back because he did love his original. He did love. We don't know her name. Oh, Sayori. Duh. I'm like, do we know? Jesus Christ, I'm stupid. You know what I mean? When Eiichiro told the story, it was obviously he loved Sayori, but she was like, look, this isn't working for either one of us. And I'm sick, you just go. And then he fell in love with our mom, with Kana, and then it was but he came back and he kind of loved them both. And it's fair, but this is even sadder for him because you're he was so in love with her. And then but he never told her, so he was she's always been he's pining away for his wife, basically, who he thinks, maybe cares for him because they were friends, but is still pining away over her dead lover. And then he meets Kana and he's kind of into her, but then she gets pregnant, but then he's I have an obligation here. And but that's sad because it's oh God, this poor man. I feel for him. What do you do? If he had left Eiichiro and Sayori and stayed with us, you know what I mean? None of this would have come out. But also, you would have been what a bastard. He left his original family, but it's not really. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Oh, it's so sad. He was in a really shit spot. I feel for him. This is such, and now Eiichiro's reading this, finding out he's not his father's son. Oh my God.
Every time I was with her, she blamed herself more. I was reluctant and it was painful, but I agreed to the divorce in the end. Eiichiro was only 8, but he was smart. He was always worrying about both of us. He said, "I'm worried about Mom, so I'll stay with her." And then I was separated from him, too. All alone, I realized that they were the ones supporting me all this time. My heart broke. Look at little baby Eiichiro on the bottom. So sad. Things got worse until I hit rock bottom. My student studying under me, Kana Ueda, was my savior.
See? That's kind of the way I was for Eiichiro. This is actually kind of adorable. Me and my mom have same MO.
She also knew Sayori and Eiichiro, and she was aware of our situation. She said leaving me to my own devices would lead to my downfall, so she started supporting me.
I mean, I wasn't as good with words as my mother, but I'm just saying, we were supporting Eiichiro over here.
At the time, I regretted that I couldn't make anyone happy. But Kana was patient, and she encouraged me, saying, "Your work makes a lot of people happy. I'm one of them."
She said similar things.
After about a year, I was almost back to normal. I felt bad for troubling her for so long, and then I realized I was falling in love. I decided to tell her, to express my feelings this time, in hopes I could make her happy. However, the fear of rejection was strong and I hesitated. In the end, she told me how she felt, and I was finally able to tell her that I loved her.
This is literally the parallel between Eiichiro and I love that. I love it. Minus he's married someone else that he loved, who had somebody else's baby, his best friend's baby, and he was taking it. Minus that whole thing, but I just mean the parallels between technically my father and my mother, which he thought was his father, and his father's girlfriend.
Eiichiro was still worried for me, and he'd drop by my work from time to time. But one time he said, "Mom said that she loved you." My heart ached to hear it, but at least I'd finally found out what she truly thought. Both of us were terrible at communicating. We assumed how the other felt, and then we came to our own conclusions without facts. Ohara was so straightforward with his emotions, and Eiichiro had definitely inherited that from his dad.
Are you sure? You see, it said he was a little less with his emotions, but I don't think he's as bad as communicating as his father, clearly. Clearly!
As time passed, Kana finally got a job as the main writer for a film. The director was Yuzo Makino. He was younger than me and had very few titles to his name. However, I'd worked with him once and knew he was a talented director. Both me and Connor were now professional screenwriters. Although our relationship had been ambiguous up to this point, we started dating, no longer teacher and student. I'd finally broken free of my fetters and could file for marriage with Connor.
Oh!
But she suddenly told me she wanted to break up. She said, "My mother is ill and I have to go take care of her." I couldn't believe it. She was resolved, and in one day, she packed her things and left while I was away. Not long after, Eiichiro asked me to come back.
Because didn't he say that he went and said something to Kana? And like, you know what I mean? So she knew the family wanted him back, so she left. But that is so sad. You know what I mean? But like, look at our mother being so selfless. She probably didn't know she was pregnant at the time, you know?
There wasn't a day I didn't think about Sayori and Eiichiro. He never complained about anything, but this time he pleaded so sincerely that I had to consider it. I wasn't sure I could even do anything. But though we weren't related by blood, Eiichiro was still my son.
See, I mean, that's true.
No parent doesn't love their child, and I wanted to be a father to Eiichiro. I talked things over with Sayori and we started living together again. As the years passed, I did my best to be a good father, albeit a clumsy one. Eiichiro hadn't told me directly, but it seemed he'd been writing novels. When I found out, the days I'd spent laughing with Ohara rushed back with vivid splendor. I prayed that my son will be happy, and I'm sure Ohara would want the same.
It's kind of cute you were best friends and now it's like your shared son. Because you raised him, but like the other one fathered him. You know what I mean? But he wasn't there. Like, it's kind of adorable. I feel bad for Eiichiro, but it's kind of a beautiful, heart-wrenching story, isn't it? Like, goddamn! Bravo, game! How dare you? I might cry. After Professor Asagi finished reading the memoir, we sat there speechless for some time. Everything Seiji Asagi had felt, his internal struggles, was all written there. Seiji Asagi, too, the protagonist's father, although she never got a chance to meet him. He passed away without ever knowing that the protagonist existed. He was known for his loving personality, and he raised Eiichiro as his own despite not being related by blood. Jesus. I wasn't expecting that, but like, okay, not true. I kind of was, but not until the very end when I was like, wait, is like, Seiji not his dad, but he's my dad? I only threw that out there as a joke. I wasn't, oh my god. Oh dear god, this is... Professor Asagi alright? Would you be? This person he thought was his father wasn't blood related, and now he'd found out about his biological father. Our circumstances were different, but this couldn't be easy for him. Professor Asagi...
You don't have to look so worried. I'm alright, Miss Ueda. Even if we weren't related, my father loved me. And also that means we can bone now.
I mean, I'm just saying, the plus to this is we can go to Pound Town.
My father is Seiji Asagi, and that will never change.
Seiji Asagi is a wonderful father.
Yes, I respected him. He left me with some big shoes to fill. This memoir reminded me what a great man he actually was. And it doesn't mention anything about you.
It doesn't.
And could it be...
Yeah, I think so. Seiji Asagi, my father, didn't know about me. You mentioned that you talked to my mother back then, right?
Yeah, I think your mother was already...
I think she was pregnant with me then. My mother didn't leave just because of you and your mom, though. I think that if Seiji, my father, found out about me, he would have been in even more pain. I wasn't abandoned. Inside the memoir was a letter made out to Kana Ueda. There was also an open letter addressed to Sayori Asagi. Professor Asagi picked up the one intended for my mother and held it out to me.
I'll read the one for my mother, and here's yours.
Okay. Honestly, I was a little afraid, but my curiosity won out. I wanted to know how my mother's true love ended. I opened the letter and took a deep breath to prepare myself. It is kind of sad, but it's like he didn't know about you, so you're not like, my dad just left. I'm going to read it in our voice. You may never see this letter, but there are things I need to say, so I've written them down. Even after you said goodbye and vanished, I always worried about you. Even if we're separated, it doesn't change the fact that you saved me. Love you. Please don't ever forget that. Oh, it's just a short, sweet little letter. Okay. I'm here today because my mother truly loved him. Not everything will go your way, and you can't say if one love is better than another. And sometimes love even pushes you to withdraw.
Miss Ueda,
When I heard Professor Asagi's voice, I couldn't take it anymore, and I threw myself into his arms. We're not related! We can make out! Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. We're crying, and he's holding us. Oh, and he's crying too. It's so sad and beautiful. Stop it. I was never sure if I was loved. My mother said she was happy, but she passed away when I was in grade school. I always worried that she spent her entire life suffering. If it weren't for me, maybe she could have continued being a screenwriter. I always wondered if my life had meaning.
it does. His memoir says it's dedicated to his beloved. Your father passed away without knowing you, but you are, without a doubt, among those he loved.
I'm sure, because, if he had known... I mean, look what he did for his best friend's son and the woman he loved. And then when she was like, now we need to get a divorce, instead of telling her he loved her and fighting, he was like, anything to make her happy, so he pieced out. You know what I mean? Seiji Asagi is the most tragic fucking character in this whole game. It's, tragic. But, you know what I mean? You know damn well that he would have loved you if he knew you existed. He didn't know you existed, but, considering the fact everything he did for all the people he even cared about at all, he definitely would have done whatever he could have for you. You know what I mean? You have to know that. Which is just so sad and beautiful. Stop it, game. Thank you.
We may not be a regular family, but love comes in different forms. It may have been awkward at times, but we were able to meet because of love.
Are you gonna kiss me now? Because we're not related. And your dad may be my father, but your father is somebody else. I'm just saying. I cried in Professor Asagi's arms for a while until I eventually calmed down. It'd be like step siblings, kind of. Except for the fact that, we didn't grow up in the same household. Step siblings would be weird if you grew up in the same household. But, let's say you work with Bob over here, and you and Bob are buds, you're friends, you're cool, and then your parents fall in love. I guess we're step siblings now, but, we're adults. And we didn't grow up in this. It's not like your parents got married, when I was a baby, and then, I always knew Seiji Asagi was my father, and grew up with Eiichiro as, my older brother, even though then we find out later we're not biologically related. You know what I mean? We grew up as siblings, in a step-sibling situation, no blood relation, but we didn't grow up as family, so this is fine. We're kind of like step-siblings, but not even, I'm just trying to say that there is no way that this game should be well, we're kind of you're not. You're not. I cried in Professor Asagi's arms for a while until I eventually calmed down. I haven't cried this much since I was a child.
You do seem to bottle things up, but when you feel like crying, you should.
Yeah. Oh, Professor Asagi, how was the letter to your mother?
It was all about how my father felt about her, his emotions, his thoughts. My father worried about her to the end, and he wanted me to take care of her.
I see.
What do you want to do now?
What do you mean?
Well, I fell in love with you without knowing what happened between our fathers. If it still feels awkward, we can...
Please don't say you want to leave me. If you do, I'll cry.
I can't have that.
Then please stay right here.
Wait, is that an order?
Yes. I've decided to stop being so obedient. Girl! Now kiss me! Oh, he suddenly went quiet. I tried to be a little more frank for once, but it seemed I'd messed it up. Sorry. I just got carried away, because we're not siblings and all. Huh? I was confused as to why he was laughing.
I know you're a good person deep down, so if you want to start something, you need to finish it.
That's a bit difficult for me.
When shall I set the example?
Really? I want to know how you do it. Please teach me. Do you realize that there's gonna... Okay.
Well then, first, Close your eyes and try to imagine it.
So it's sort of like image training. He's gonna kiss you, you idiot! She's so dumb, but I'm here for it. Is this how you come up with ideas for your screenplays? I felt something touch my lips and my eyes flew open. What did you just do?
Exactly what you think I did.
Just told me to try and imagine it! You didn't say anything about kissing!
I couldn't help it. You closed your eyes without any hesitation. You were adorable.
You couldn't help it? That reminds me, the memoir said that O'Hara was very open with his emotions and that you'd take after him.
My father was very observant. He knew his son well.
Professor Usagi smiled mischievously. I thought you were a gentleman.
Actually, this isn't the first time I did something. It's the second.
Whoa! You kissed me on the cheek while I was asleep, but you make it sound like you did something wildly inappropriate. Could you imagine? Wait, what? He's like, when you were asleep. Huh? I kissed you on the cheek. Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. What? I couldn't just ignore that. What do you mean the second time? What did you do the first time?
When you were sleeping, I kissed your cheek.
I was asleep? When? The night you came over when I was feeling sick?
You called my name in your sleep.
Why you look so defenseless? Okay, I'm sorry. That's not an excuse! That is not a valid reason! You look defenseless! That's not gonna hold up in court, dude! What the shit? I can't hate him for it, but sir, if I didn't love you, I would be very questioning this. Talk to my sleep? But still!
You hate me now.
He stared at me as if he couldn't talk. Well, when he puts it that way, I want to give him the response he wants. That's not fair. I still love you. I realized then that love was all a game of cat and mouse. We get a kiss CG at least. Is this it? Is this where we get our, turning that off so we don't, yeah. Oh my god. The roller coaster! The fucking roller coaster! Jesus! We're not done with the game though, because I was like, oh well, this is gonna end. I mean, I don't know. Part of me thinks it sucks that, look at him giving us candy, that they took away, we better get a real kiss CG is all I'm saying in the after story. That his route was so short. But at the same time, I kind of understand aside from Kazuma, the other guys we had just met. And the whole purpose of this is pretending to be in a relationship with them and stuff like that. And you're not really, there was really no way to write pretending to be in a relationship with Usagi. You know what I mean? There was really no way to do it. You were going to be oh, we have to, the other ones, made kind of sense. Kazuma just kind of, oh, by the way, they think we're dating, so I guess we're going to keep it up. All right, cool. You know what I mean? And honestly, I think the best part of this was there was none of that weird, this makes no fucking sense. Okay, the only thing that was technically would have been you think I'm your sister, but you're still getting romantic with me. Bro? But I mean, alright. That was, oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, I was extremely scared when we were confessing our relationship, and I was like, wait, oh my god, we're siblings though? But we can't be! The second he said, oh, we'll get a DNA test, I was like, alright, we're definitely not siblings then, because not gonna lie, game had me concerned. I was scared. I really did want someone to call my mom and have her come take me home. I am home, but you know what I mean. Anywhere else, because I was scared. Alright. Seasons changed, and before I knew it, a year had passed. Director Makino's movie was released in October to high praise. Oh, that's true, we gotta do this. The cast was announced last November, and then the script was completed. Nishijima and Sena were cast as the leads, and then filming started. We got to see each other again for the first time in a while. After that, we were all really busy. As the assistant, I helped proofread the script, and I was even asked to help polish it. Makino continued to help on set, and Kazuma was working hard with Kayama. He said the best part was the filming. I also watched them film a few scenes. Just from that, I could tell Nishijima and Seina had a lot of chemistry. Director Makino was strict, yet kind, and there was a lot to learn. The movie garnered a lot of attention, even after its release, and was acclaimed by critics and moviegoers alike. Bird, it's just the nail on the ceiling. It's nothing. Would you stop? Don't get fidgety, okay? You got a few minutes. The bird's with me. Whenever I heard someone praising the story, I felt as happy as if it were my own work. And, well, as for us, Professor Asagi, how was my script? Don't call him Professor. Well, he might still be your professor. Look, I'm going to call you Professor Asagi when we're in a working relationship or a student-teacher thing, and then I'll moan your name later. But, like,
Oh, I've watched you since your first year, but you've markedly improved.
Markedly has improved as of late. I can't say things in this voice. Then,
I noted my corrections in red, so have a look.
oh, right. I thought he'd praise me this time, but he was as strict as ever. Aye. He would point out the flaws, but he'd never really offer a solution. Instead, he urged me to find the best way to express it on my own. Stop attacking my headset. Bird, it's just a fucking nail in the ceiling. Chill out. Because of that, I'd rack my brain to find new ways to write from various viewpoints. I love you, but you're crazy. But I've been getting less criticism lately. Since I was still a student, we've been keeping our relationship a secret for now. Thankfully, he didn't take it easy on me, even though we were dating. It was autumn now, and I was in my 4th year. I didn't plan on getting a regular job. Instead, I wanted to continue writing. When my work with the movie died down, I resumed one of my part-time jobs. Once I graduated, I keep working that job and use the rest of my time to write and enter contests. By the way, I resumed only one of my part-time jobs because I found other work to do instead. Well, I said I wouldn't get a regular job, but this kind of was one in a way. Yep, I kept my job as Eiichiro's assistant. I couldn't support him as his lover, but I could still help him with his work. You can support him as his lover, but I would do that while I continued my studies. I planned to submit the script I was writing now to a contest, even though I was still in college. If I won, things would change. I mean, I get what she's kind of saying. Like, I can't be like, oh, I'm supporting him as his lover. It's like, I'm his assistant because we're keeping our relationship a secret. So I can't openly support him as his lover. I have to support him as his assistant. You know what I mean? I get it. But you can still support him as his lover, just on the down low. I knew I shouldn't be too optimistic, though. I needed to focus on making a living while remaining flexible. I glanced at Eiichiro. He was eating a piece of coffee candy. Of course he is. He didn't even glance over, totally focused on his own thing. After we read his father's memoir, I formally introduced myself to his mother, and we told her about our relationship. She smiled at Eiichiro and said that his happiness was hers as well. She gave us her blessing. I mean, what was she going to be like? No, we're not really related. Will I eventually change my last name to his? Spacey Asagi. Sounds so strange. Oh, when you get married! And then it's like, well, I mean, technically. Technically, that should be your real last name. Well, not necessarily. You have your mother's last name and whatever, but it's going to be weird when you marry Eiichiro and then you have the same last name and now you finally have the same last name as your dad, and then, which is also his dad, but not really. His dad, your father. That's going to be fun to explain. I can't wait till you have kids and you have to explain that.
Spacey, are you having trouble concentrating?
Yeah, with you sitting there looking like that? Yeah. Huh? He said it so suddenly that I jumped.
What were you thinking about?
About tonight's dinner.
Look me in the eye when you say that. You're such a bad liar, like always.
Ichiro was so mature. Even since we started dating, he'd often tease me. I'd like to turn the tables on him, at least sometimes, but he'd probably notice. I couldn't do anything too complicated. He was always a step ahead of me. Yes, you can. You just throw yourself in his lap. He's not going to expect that. Just saying, hike your tits up and jump in his lap, girl. Ichiro kept on working. He had no idea I was fretting about how to surprise him. Maybe I can do something while he's distracted with work. Wrap your arms around his back and bite his ear. I'm just saying, that would surprise anybody. Especially if you're not dating that person. Don't do that. I decided to go with sneaking up behind him. Perfect. I could shout boo behind him, but that may be a little too childish. What in the world would surprise him? I crept closer, silent as a mouse, and then hugged him from behind. Exactly what I said. Ooh, we get a CG, I was hoping. Look at how cute we look. Did I surprise you? He looks slightly shocked / irritated a little bit, but it's cute.
You've started doing some rather childish things lately, you know.
Well, I am a child compared to you. I just wanted to surprise you for once. That's kind of creepy being like, I'm a child compared to you. You're like 9 years, it's like a 9-year difference because like he was 8, right? When he came to his father, 8 or 9. You know what I mean? So like at max, there's like, I would say there's an average of 9 because the father left when he was 8, but then he said a year later. So like, okay, so like maybe 9 to 10. That's not a lot. That's actually not that bad. So like, stop. I mean, it is weird when you're like 22 or 23 and he's 32 and 33. It is a little weird then, but it's not anywhere near like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio being like fucking 50 something dating 18-year-olds. Oh, I'm sorry. As long as they're not 25. Anyone under 20. That's just fucking weird. Okay. That's kind of gross. She's dating a 60-year-old. Like, okay, let's simmer it down. That's a little icky. 10-year age difference, not that bad. I mean, the professor and student is like, oh, it's a little risque and a little inappropriate, but it's an Otome game, so we're fine with it. And like, you know, whatever. But not when you say, I'm like a child compared to you. Could you stop saying things like that? Because that makes it gross. The actual age difference really isn't that big of a deal here. Anyway.
You just want attention.
Not that. I just wanted to dote on you for a change. I wanted to give you something very special.
Oh?
What's that? Close your eyes and count to 3.
Okay.
1. Once Eiichiro's eyes were closed, I reached out and removed his glasses. No, leave them on.
2.
I leaned in closer to his face. Oh my god, do we get a CG of this too? We do, but you can't even say it! I'm cheated! I feel cheated! You didn't give me an actual... This is like a kiss CG, but it's not a real kiss CG. You can't see the kiss happening. The hair's in the way. Ruined game. F. That's it. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Before he could finish counting, I kissed him. No, I do love this game, though. Yes, I did it. I felt so accomplished that he hadn't seen it coming. But when I looked at his face, he was smiling. I hadn't expected that, really. You want him to frown when you kiss him? Huh. But his smile was a bit different from usual.
I see. Well, this is special.
Yep. You see? I didn't lie to you.
But that's not enough.
Not enough? Oh.
You said you wanted to give me something very special. That's not quite very yet.
You naughty boy. I'm here for this. What? It's just a figure of speech.
Well, then as a writer, you'll need to be a little more detailed than that.
I mean, yeah, but...
I'm correct, aren't I? Oh, Spacey. You need to do it again, right?
How is he always one step ahead? Although I was a bit mortified, I leaned in and tried to make it very special. Girls, I'm just gonna say again, hike your tits up and drag him into your bed. He's not expecting that at all. And he will be very surprised. I'm not moaning. Or humming. His lips tasted like sweet coffee. Yeah, because he was eating candy. From now on, I was going to live life being open and honest about my feelings. Together with Eiichiro. I do love it, though. I'm sad that this is the kiss CG we got, because everything's covered, and I don't like that. Happy end. Thank God we're not fucking related. No, but I did enjoy his route, even though it was a lot shorter. What are we on, like 4 parts now? And everybody else was at least like 8 or something. But anyway, next time we will do his other endings, because there is a normal ending and there is really only one bad ending. So that'll get through. We'll get through that very fast. It'll probably be a very short part. But, oh, I totally forgot we got to look at the CGs. I'm stupid. Whatever. But then we have all the little after story kind of things. And we'll get even more CGs. We'll get a finished CG. This is why he doesn't get as many CGs as everybody. This is the one that, like, goes back, isn't it? Yeah, I hate that. Well, his only have... Why did we only get one? How do we only get one of two for that one? Where's the second one? Huh. That's interesting. Maybe it's the normal end. You get that CG, but it's a different version of it? Only the happy and normal ends unlock a CG. His last CG is reading his short story, which is like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not really unlocking a CG when it's just another version of one that we already have, which kind of bugs me. But anyway, whatever. I do love him. And I don't think there's anything they could have done with his route to make it longer. To make, you know, just... Because, like, it does suck that it's shorter than everybody else's. But you can't really have the pretend time of, like... You know? I love him giving us candy. I want his candy so bad. He should have had his glasses on, though. You know, come on. You can't make the sexy man with glasses. But I guess it's more like reading glasses. He doesn't need them all the time. That's actually kind of nice. I was playing with fireworks. But you know what I mean? Like, the pretend time wouldn't have really worked in here. And it would have been strange. So, you know. I do, like, this is adorable. Look, we're so happy. But that's the best kiss CG we got from him because, like, his other one doesn't count. You know what I mean? There is no difference in this one. This one is a beautiful CG, though, as sad as it is. It's just so touching. And, like, the colors and the way the light's coming in, like, and just the lighting on it is beautiful. This one's cute. But then it's like, that kind of ruins it, you know what I mean? And then we're back to the beginning. I think, honestly, like, you've got the original first CG that we got of him, which is just lovely. But I like the candy one. I don't know, like, I kind of like, I want the candy, give me the candy. I did enjoy his route, and I did enjoy the trauma of the game being like, well, your siblings, wait, back it up, what? That can't be true. And my trust issues, even though I saw the title ending, did kind of have me concerned. And then especially when we came and confessed our feelings, and then we were like, but we're siblings, and it's like, but nothing can happen. I was like, all right. That's when I started feeling like we're not really siblings. Because I really did before that. I was like, are we going there? Is the game gonna actually... I was concerned. I'm not gonna lie. I was very afraid. And so for all my posturing and being like, give me the brother route, this is exactly what I knew would happen. You know, when it makes you think that you're like, oh God, no, I'm uncomfortable. Stop it. So, you know. But again, it's because this game is so fluffy that I just... If you were going into a game that's like darker and weirder and everything, you're like, I'm fully expecting the debauchery and I want it to be like as fucked up as it can be. Like if you were playing Diabolic Lovers, right? Which goddamn, they really wish they would localize that. Because I don't have it. I know people have asked me to play it, but it's like I can't because it's not localized. And I know that there's a fan patch if you jailbreak your Vita, but we can't play the Vita. I have to use my PS TV. That's how I always played it. You can't jailbreak those. So I couldn't put the patch in. And I also don't have the Diabolic Lovers copies that I do have are on my PlayStation 4. They're not... I think the original one's on PlayStation 4. I do think I have a couple of the fan discs on Vita for whenever I never learned to read Japanese because I've been really shit about that for the last 3 years. So think of where I could be if, like, you know, over COVID I hadn't, like, fucked up my whole routine. But, you know, ugh. If I could go back in time, I would take advantage of COVID by, one, not eating a ton of junk food and getting myself, and, like, gaining 30 fucking pounds, where I'm like, oh, that's helpful. And I would have found a new way to spend more time learning Japanese instead of not doing it. It was just those first, like, couple of weeks of COVID, you were like, we're locked at home, and then and then it turns into a couple of months, and then a couple of years, and then everything you knew was gone. But anyway, point being, like, if in Diabolic Lovers you were dating your brother, you'd be like, I fully expect this kind of shit, because, like, fucking crazy shit happens. I've read synopsis, and I've seen the anime. I know that there's way more to it, but, you know, I don't want to spoil it just in case it ever comes out. Or I also don't want to spoil it because then I'll be really desperate and be like, but I need this! You know, but whatever. Anyway, point being, this is not the game I expected, like, incest in. So, like, when it was started to happen, I was definitely afraid. But I absolutely would be afraid if it was really happening in another game, too. But maybe if I expected it, like, this game is heavy and dark and creepy, fully expected in this, that I'd be like, yeah, okay. It'd be less troubling. But this one is like, it's so light and fluffy, you can't do this. And then, you know, then it was like, we'll get a DNA to... Oh, okay! Yeah. But, like, damn, when I went into his route, I wasn't expecting this much drama, so bravo! I guess, like, shit. So... So I am sad his route's short compared to the others, but it makes sense, because, again... But anyway, we'll do his normal and bad ending in the next part. That'll probably be a short part, but the last part and this part are kind of a little bit longer, so it's fine. And then we will do, after that, we'll do all the little side stories and stuff like that. I'm debating, I was thinking, like, we could do the side stories with the voice acting on, but then you would have to pay attention and read along. You know what I mean? And I don't like to make you guys do that, because I know that there's a lot of people who might be, like, straight up watching everything that goes on, but a lot of people put this on in the background, which is why I let you know when there's CGs. Because, like, I know people are multitasking, so I'm here for you, because I am the same way. Like, I'm, like, watching things multitasking, you know? So, like, I get it, so, like, I don't want to make people who are used to multitasking, hey, pay attention! So, we'll just read them like normal, and then we'll go back, and hopefully in that part we'll be able to do the voice acting. You know what I mean? So that part might be a little bit longer. We'll see how long it takes us to read those short stories. Like, how short are they? Are they like a minute? Or are they 10 minutes? We might have a couple of parts of that. But anyway, finishing Asagi's shit next time. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.